Are you paying too much in taxes? Elevated Tax and Accounting is a firm that specializes in tax planning and strategy to minimize your tax bill. Elevated Tax consult with you on tax strategy throughout the year, so no more waiting until the end of the year and hoping for the best. As a business owner, you know your sole focus should be spent working on your business, not in it. Outsourcing gives you the time to concentrate on the core reasons you started your company, to create and innovate a top-tier product and generate profits. Elevated Tax and Accounting, elevating you and your business with a modern professional touch.
Taylee, your second time playing this game, the first time at home, to win this emphatically. What are the emotions around this team right now?
I mean, obviously, it's super exciting for us. We threw some water in the air in the locker room. It's one of our 4 rings, one of our goals to have both these wins at the end of the season, and we just did that. So that's obviously going to be super exciting as a team.
You were a big part of run in the third quarter that you're already ahead by a bunch, but you're ahead by even more. You just found all your spots. Can you take us through just what you were feeling in the first couple of minutes of the third?
Yeah, I think I was just relaxed, confident, just saw the openings and just took the chances. And I think it was all just out of instinct, honestly.
You guys took a, I think, 27-point lead to halftime, but then you opened this third quarter on a 17-3 run. What does it take to stay locked in at that high of a level?
Yeah, I think just coming in the locker room, obviously when you still have a lead, you still got to stay focused and just kind of all coming together as a team and just saying, all right, let's come out and 0-0, play like we can play.
There's been any negatives towards this run? It's been just the slow starts the last couple games. So how are you guys here to get out to a faster start?
Yeah, I think just right off the jump, just going at them and attacking them and playing good defense, I think it's just going to lead to a successful, run on them. Just push the ball and run fast transition.
I think you guys had 11 more turnovers forced today than the last game in Missoula. What you guys kind of do differently, if anything?
I think it was just great having that big crowd here. It motivated us. We wanted to work for that crowd and get them excited and hyped, and just being able to play great defense and do what we can do was just really fun.
Coming off the bench, stepping in at that role, you were scoring, getting some steals, some rebounds, hitting some threes and stuff. How do you kind of stay and be ready to come in a game like this in this moment?
Yeah, I think it just kind of stems from, when I go on the floor, I want to just do the best I can for my team and just do what I can do. And they just trust that I will do my best every time I go in. So obviously having these great seniors surrounding me, wanting to have me do the best I can, I want to do that for them.
You're driving along on the highway and you've been hit by a semi-truck. Now what do? You call your Montana attorneys, Ryan and Miller. We have the expertise to help guide you along in these specific types of accidents. So these are the 3 steps that you need to follow. Number 1, make sure that the police are called and that there is a report of the accident. Second, make sure that you're getting the medical attention that you need and following up with your doctor. Third, do not talk to an insurance company until you've talked to an attorney. They are not going to help you protect your rights, and you want to make sure that you know all that you're entitled to. Contact an attorney today by clicking the link below.
Esmeralda, for the first 3 quarters of this game, it seemed like you guys never gave up the momentum. How are you able to sustain that much momentum for that long?
Yeah, just the mentality of 0-0. Every break, I think there's points where it's just adjustments. So it's 0-0. How can we continue to push the pedal? How can we be good? How can we tag? How can we stay consistent? But the mindset is just 0-0.
You hit that 3, the step back 3, 12 seconds left.
Yeah.
Then you force another turnover and it hits the almost half quarter. Just take me through that stretch.
I just saw a mismatch, and what coach tells me, when you have a mismatch, go and do what I do. And then KJ's just doing what she does. I thought she was going for the layup, and then she slowed down. It got me a little confused, but then she let it go and banked it.
With a couple key players not playing for most of the second half, how'd you guys have to adjust?
We have depth. We have players. It sucks to see that, but as a leader, as a point guard, I have to continue and just praise them and just say, hey, we can't have those emotions right now, especially with this type of environment and type of game. I think just continue to lead them and just be like, we're doing this for them. It's yeah, it hurts. It hurts our team, but we're doing them for them, so we have to go out there even harder.
Talk about the depth. Lexi, Taylor, both started the season injured. Seeing them work their way back, 21 combined points in this game. Just what are your thoughts on?
They bring experience. They have experienced this more than any of us right here compared to us two. And Taylor is a big one too. Like she's just always consistently talking. She has high IQ. Lex, she's the dog out there. She's gonna go and fight. And they bring a great balance on the court.
How important was it defensively in the first half to keep Montana away from the three-point or not give them as many good looks, because that's how they stay in games. They got hot in the second half of this one, but to keep them away from that early, how important was that?
It was very important. That was our big thing coming into this game. Is like we need to erase the threes. That's their game, and they can get hot. Like we can see it. Like last time in the fourth quarter, they scored 22 points. Like they can get hot. So we just have to respect them and just be disciplined and take away the threes.
First home brawl for you. I think largest crowd in 15 years is what they said here. So what do you think about the environment?
Very blessed. I came here because that was one of the reasons, to support the community, and I'm so happy that we're having the season that we're having, and just it shows that this community is behind us. Like they're there with us. But just blessed to have that type of community and that type of family.
What's the collective feeling of the team right now after a big win like this? Y'all only won by one in Missoula.
Yeah.
And y'all mentioned it's important to get both wins. And I mean, as a student here, of course, this one you
Yeah.
see on my end as well. So just kind of how y'all feeling?
It feels great. It's always great to be Missoula. Yeah, it's my first year, but it's different. You can, like I tell them, the energy, you can sense it. It's great to win by that much too. It's even better.
What are your thoughts on setting a new program record for consecutive wins throughout the season? First year here. So
It shows how much we work every single day. It shows how much we're committed. And then we just have to continue to grow, continue to have that 1-0 mindset and not get complacent. Because March is coming, and in March, anything can happen. It's March Madness for a reason. But continue to grow and continue to move the needle that Coach says.
Is a will you marry me in your future? Or maybe you do it all over again. Hi, I'm Brian Toon with Jewelry Design Center, inviting you to come see the largest selection of Will You Marry Me in the state of Montana. The brightest diamonds of every shape and size, unique settings built to last, and skilled jewelers on site offering free sizing and maintenance for life, because that's how long we want to be your jeweler. Jewelry Design Center in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the
KJ, earlier this week, Coach Ben talked about getting back to championship habits. So just take me through the week of practice, and did you feel like you guys were pretty locked in? It seemed like you were when I talked to you earlier this week.
Yeah, we were completely locked in. We knew what we had to work on from the previous week, and I think we executed that well.
Undefeated for you now against Montana at home. So what's that mean to you as a fifth-year senior?
It's bittersweet, honestly. I came here because of the rivalry between Montana State and Montana, and Coach Ben did a good job of recruiting, and this is just really exciting and really it's awesome for our team, honestly.
Take us through your buzzer beater.
I saw the shot clock winding down, or just the clock in general, and I was like, well, if I continue running, it's going to be a layup from the free throw line. So I'm just going to pop and stop and shoot it, made up from my backboard three, and we were hyped. So that was my
What kind of the feeling?
It was awesome, honestly. It was just kind of makes you feel like all the work you put in was worth it, even if it was just a half-court shot or a little bit less than that. And I was really happy. My teammates are all really excited for me, so it was great.
You guys bring so much pressure, but then they went with the press too. But it seemed like you guys actually thrived off of that. So did you feel like it sped up the game even more to your advantage?
I mean, Coach prepped us. She knew that they were going to press us, and I think we did a good job of working on it throughout the week. There was a spell or a couple possessions in there that we didn't execute it as well as we wanted to, but I think for the most part we did a really good job of just working through whatever they were putting on us.
It didn't seem like there was really a moment in this game where you're giving them a chance to come back. Obviously, they got hot in the second half, but not nearly enough to come all the way back. To leave no doubt, across a full 40 minutes like this, what would you want to take from this game for the rest of the season?
I mean, it's a testament to our hard work. I think the coaches have really done a good job of prepping us for every single game, and I think the girls have bought into executing every single possession because we know that games can come down to possessions, and so I think we're just well-oiled and we're bought into the process of what success looks like, and I think that's what we executed today.
Been part of this program for a long time now. Streak 18 in a row, obviously. Just from your perspective, being the Griz two games in a row, what does mean to you?
Like I said, it's bittersweet. Every single moment on the court, I just try and cherish it now because, I only have a couple games left, and so does Esme. And I just want to keep the moments rolling. These moments are always so special to me, and obviously beating the Griz is always, top priority. So just really happy for our team and our coaching.
I think your first game as a Cat was the 18th straight in the 2021 season. So now to do it, 18th straight in the whole season for the first time, I don't know if that was even something you guys were focused on back in 2020, but or 21 or whatever when you guys said it the first time. Is that something that
I wasn't aware of that, no. But this year, I think it's a different team than I've ever been on. And I think when you have players that all love each other, it makes the hard moments easier. And I really think that this team loves each other for who each other are. And it just shows to our success on and off the court. And yeah, so that wasn't really a thought that I had, but just a want-to-know mentality. And I think that's what we all have going into the game.
That moment is at halftime or the end of the first half, and this game in general, especially after the way the last 2 years ended, how special is that?
Yeah, I mean, last year was crazy, and the community, it all comes down to that. I think we wanted to show out for Bobcat community and the support that they give us every single game. It's unmatched. You don't find it anywhere else in the Big Sky, nonetheless, in SEC teams, it's hard to find. And it was for Bobcat community, honestly, and for all their time and support that they give us. I think we wanted to give that back to them.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Right down the road, pump it up.
Trish, when we talked earlier this week, you talked about getting back to championship habits. It seems like your team was pretty locked in from the start of this game.
Yeah, great start. Super disciplined start. I thought we really focused on the corner threes, the rhythm threes. I wouldn't say we did that for a complete game since they hit 12 of them, but I think defensively we knew we took a few too many risks the first time, so we want to be more disciplined with our risks because they do stretch the floor and they expose you so quickly. So I love that end, and I felt offensively we just let the game come to us and really played through each other and found really quality shots.
How did you have to adjust in the second half with Mara and Dylan out?
Well, fortunately, this you never want to see injuries happen on either side, and our thoughts are out to both of them. But at the same time, you do have a team that's going to step up, and the thing I was most proud of is how they stepped up when that could go really emotional. It could have gone either way. And our bench was absolutely incredible today. You go through anybody that came in off the bench. Obviously, Taylee started at half for us, but you have somebody like Taylee coming off the bench, double digits. Both Lexi and Taylor gave us tremendous minutes off the bench. Natalie having her experience from last year. We just Addison Harris. We continued to rotate, and that's what I feel does allow us to do what we do is we do have a bench and we have depth to handle certain situations. We did have a little bit of foul trouble in the first half with both Ella and Addie, and I thought we were able to work through that as well.
The fans seem to really want 100 points. You seemed a little...
I've been on the other end of that, and I was trying to wave Natalie off, and obviously she's got the crowd on her. It's 2 more points to break 100, and I get it, but respectfully, I would have loved to have dribbled it out. Have tremendous respect for Nate, and it's just not who we are. But at the same time, I understand our crowd was really excited and wanted the 100 points, and I'm also really, really grateful for this tremendous crowd today. Our community has been absolutely phenomenal all season long. This was an incredible atmosphere from the tip. I love the Gold Rush. What a great idea by the marketing department, and it was a really special atmosphere today.
Maybe we'll talk about this game specifically, not the streak, everything that's going on. What can you speak about this team's run and everything?
Yeah, I think this team has been really wise beyond their years, especially when you got underclassmen like this too. You can get ahead of yourself and you get caught up on the hype around certain things. And I feel like they've just done a tremendous job of staying in the present. Our leadership on the team, when you have enough experience to kind of mentor even some of the new kids into the program. We just had a really productive week. It was a great week for us. It's the first full week we had just to get back to focusing on ourselves with we took Wednesday off midweek and really focused on habits. But, those numbers, I don't talk about the win streaks with them. We just really have taken to heart what our men's football team did in the fall and what it looks like for us to go 1-0 and move the needle on us getting better.
Not 100 points, but 98 is still the most that MSU has ever scored against the Griz. How much do you want this to serve as maybe a reminder to your own team and maybe to other teams about how capable that side of the ball is as you?
Yeah, I think when you look at the production, I think what we get to show our kids is when you keep it simple. Coach Devin likes to use the baseball analogy of singles are great. We don't need home runs, and when we keep the game plan simple and we find a quality shot, this team is certainly capable. But I also think there was a contagious spirit today about the energy that we do get from the brick and playing off of our crowd. And when this team gets rolling, it's hard to stop them. And you certainly saw that today.
Do you have any assessment on any kind of severity for Mara or Dylan at this point?
I do not. Like I said, you're in the moment. You don't feel great about the situation, but you also know kids are going to step up. And, one of the things I told them in the locker room afterwards is, life is hard. It's not fair at times, but we sure get to surround ourselves, go through it with really amazing people. And this group loves each other, and we're going to work through it for sure together.
You're heading into the final home weekend of the season this next week. Maybe the final brick games for a couple players on this team. How much do you hope they savor what that moment is, and how much do you hope the players around them play hard for them?
Yeah, I know this team's going to continue playing hard for each other, and they know that we could look at either side of us going down that line on that bench, and when we sub, we get better. So they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready to be their best for each other. And my only thing is, I just want our community. You got 2 more home games with this special team doing historic things, and we need to get this community out behind them and really celebrate our seniors on senior night as well. We're going to take this 24 hours and enjoy our men's game and get out to support our men, and we're going to get back to work on Monday.
What do you think of AJ's buzzer beater?
It's funny because she didn't even talk about how we always finish with a half court shot. Everybody finishes with a half court shot. We just didn't have it going in on that end of the floor. We always finish it at our end, and I think I was just on her the previous play, so that kind of canceled everything out. She was all good, right? No, it was, she kind of read the situation right. And I'm like, as she said that, like it could have been a long layup from the foul line, or I could get into my rhythm. I'm like, what a great choice in a very short situation to make that decision.
And 57 points, the most in a first half since 2020, I believe, the 2019-20 season. Obviously starting really well too, the 26, which is something that's been plaguing you guys a little bit recently. So what was kind of key to be able to start so quickly?
Well, yeah, the big key was getting to a great start. We came out in the starting lineup. They were super locked in, and we got a great start. And when you get a great start, and then you can kind of build off that momentum, that's huge. And we wanted to be more disciplined on the defensive end, but our discipline actually caused us better production on some of those stops and steals. And I thought that also contributed to some of those high quality shots.
Let's finish up with Parker.
It was a nice moment pre-game for President Cruzado on the court. What moments have you had with her, before the game or after the game, if any, about how special this day was?
Well, we did want to surprise her, so she did not know this was happening. But we were prepared, and we knew she was going to be at the game. So obviously, there were some behind the scenes knowing that she was going to be here for the Cat Griz rivalry game, and we knew, like, as we were kind of going into the season with her retirement, we're like, we have got to make sure we honor her, get her own frayed jersey. And, this was obviously the one that made the most sense with us and the men being able to do it together. So what she's done and what she's done for our program in particular, there is no no more incredible. There's nothing I can say that hasn't been said about the most incredible president in Bobcat and Montana State history, and what she's done in supporting all student athletes, all students. She has changed the landscape, and we're just so grateful to be a part of this journey this season with her being her last year.
Coach, you mentioned getting people to come out and support y'all, both the men's and the women's hoops. As a student, it makes me sick to hear some of my friends or people in my classes kind of going, "Oh, it's just basketball," or "Oh, I don't really want to go to that game." What's your message to those students that don't really want to come out and support y'all? Because I have a great time watching you guys.
Well, I have one message: just come watch. I'm like, that's the message. They come watch one time, they will be back again. And I just think they don't know what they're missing. The atmosphere here, what you're seeing with, here's a second message for them. You want to see somebody that's potentially going to play in the WNBA or at least professionally for a long period of time. We have the best setup professional on our team right now, and we have 2 home games for you to get a chance to see this young lady. She is going to play at the next level, and nobody can do what she can do. She is that good. She is clutch. She makes everybody else on the floor better. You need to come see this kid. And as a university, if you want to say that you are Montana State and you are about pride, you have a historic team right now with your chance to support and be a part of that. That is how you connect to your university. And we need you as loud as possible. And that den needs to be filled by you. That's how you challenge them.
Thank you.
Big Sky Breakdown, proudly presented by the Bobcat Collective at Montana State. The Bobcat Collective is the NIL collective that serves Montana State University student athletes. The collective has partnered with Montana State to connect fans, alumni, businesses, and local nonprofits with Montana State student athletes. Opportunities through the collective allow student athletes to earn compensation while serving the greater Montana State University community. Sign up now for memberships and enjoy automatic entry into raffles for free tickets while supporting the bright minds at Montana State. They have multiple different membership tiers, and you can also be a one-time supporter, and you can also business partner or corporate supporter. Visit bobcatcollective.com for more.
Tyler, can you just talk about that stretch in the second quarter into the third quarter where they kind of blew it open, and what was going on that Montana State had so much momentum right there?
I mean, they was hitting tough shots, and we weren't hitting anything, so they had a lot of momentum. We were missing all the shots that we should usually make, and it was just pretty discouraging. But again, they were just hitting everything, so there's only so much you can do at that point. We're trying to focus on our defense, work on that, but at the end of the day, we got to lock in on our defense and be better. So,
what is it about their pressure and their defense that makes it so difficult to score?
I would just say it's pretty clogged up in there, and then it's hard when you can't really get a foul and stuff like that. So, just clogged up. They like to speed up the pace, but then just make it messy. So that's what's difficult about it.
Avery, what was it like playing in front of this crowd?
It was fun. I mean, I played in front of it before with obviously our fans. I like the big crowd. I think it's fun. I think the energy is great if you use it the right way. Today we didn't, so that's unfortunate, but the crowd was great.
Tyler, your team had battled back in the first inning to be faced with another deficit. What was the early part of this game like when you know that you have come back against the same team before? Was there a feeling that you could just do it again?
Yeah, definitely. I think our team is in a little bit of a slump right now because for college basketball, there's a lot of ups and downs, and we're just kind of in a slump right now, and we're just working through some kinks right now, and we're just hoping that we're gonna peak at the right moment. And this is just part of the process. And our team's capable of great things. We've had a lot of adversity this year, and we have a lot of great players. We're just trying to figure it out. But all that matters is the conference tournament, and we're gonna peak at the right moment. So I'm just waiting for that when that comes.
Up right now and said kind of it's just college basketball. Is there any other reasons, anything else that you kind of maybe diagnose of why that you are in a slump right now?
No, it's just part of the grind. Ultimately, I've done this for 5 years. There's a lot of ups and downs. You just got to weather it and keep being optimistic and keep being a competitor. That's all you try to do every day. So we're gonna on Monday come back together, grind things out, and be better.
So,
What's about this about Morales starting her?
which one was she again?
Number 12.
She's just really shifty. She's just shifty. So.
Being in this industry since I was in college, one of the things I think we take the most pride in is Aspen Sound's been such a presence in Missoula for almost 40 years. The cool parts about our job is people always ask us what do we do for a living. I sell phone, whether it's as simple as window tint all the way up to integrating a backup camera into a factory screen. I'm pretty excited about the options that we can
Cash One Pawn has the most extensive inventory of any pawn shop in western Montana. Whether you're in the market for firearms, power tools, bows, video game consoles, or sunglasses, Cash One Pawn has the best deals around. And now Cash One Pawn gives you the ability to shop online from anywhere. Make CashOnePawn.com part of your shopping habits. Also make sure to download the Cash One Pawn app. Cash One Pawn, Missoula's premier pawn shop, located on Roller Coaster Road on the way to the Y.
Can you take us through the first half and how Montana State was able to get so much separation?
Yeah, absolutely. Montana State's a good team. We started out, we got some great looks. They didn't go in, and we failed to – I have done a poor job of helping our team understand how to guard their way through rough shooting stretches. We're too dependent on making shots to determine how we feel, and that comes back to me and my job of helping them understand that winning games takes a well-rounded effort. And so obviously Montana State shot it great, did a really good job. Again, as you're getting good looks, as you're doing good things, you've got to guard your way through the ebbs and the flows. And again, we'll always be a team that is going to shoot it. Because you saw in the second half, when it goes well, you can score a lot of points quickly there. But we failed to guard our way through the rough stretches. And then you saw a little bit of, again, understanding that toughness wins. And I'm a firm believer that the tougher team wins almost always. And Montana State was the tougher team today. I mean, and we've got to get better quickly. The beauty of this is, if there is any beauty, I'm going to find some. The beauty of this is that our season's not over, and we've been saying that for too long now. But we just have to get back on track and find a way to be peaking in Boise. And we're going to practice on Monday. We're going to get after it because we've got to get a lot better quickly. But obviously, I want to credit Montana State for their ability to share the ball, knock down open shots. They had people, obviously, Esme was unbelievable in the first half, but they shared the ball well, and everyone they had a lot of people hit one in the first half and really carried them through. But I would say a lot of it was just our inability and lack of understanding that you can guard your way through rough shooting stretches, and that comes back to me and my ability to help our team understand that.
Such a big strength of their team is their ability to score off turnovers.
Yeah.
I'm sure you drilled it all week and stats, and they forced 28 of them. So just talk about that aspect of their ability to really affect the game.
Yeah, I mean, credit to them. Active hands, aggressive. They're decisive. They did some things that we wanted to do. But again, active hands. They don't let you go many places without some sort of pressure. Again, I thought that when we spread it out, especially early, we were able to get inside the defense and move it. And we got a little bit hesitant when the shots weren't falling. And anytime you hesitate against a team that's that aggressive, it comes back to haunt you. And that's some of that just toughness and resolve to keep just doing the right thing, even when you're not seeing the results. And again, so we've got to just drill that even when you're not seeing the results you want, just doing the right thing is what matters. And again, some of our struggles last week, we were way too results oriented, way too outcome oriented, and I felt that come through today. And that again, when you're not getting the result you want, when you're not getting the outcome you want to individual possessions, you panic, you abort mission, you do things that are going to hurt you against a team that does this.
You mentioned after the game in Missoula that it's a really tough team to beat when they shoot three as well as they can. How do you see that maybe play out in this game, maybe especially in the second quarter? They go 7 of 10, but that's 5 of 8 for a little while, and then they hit 2 in the final seconds.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as you want to keep the ball in front. Esme's really shifty. Esme does a great job getting people's body. Uses her hostage dribble, uses her hezzy, does a great job getting to people's body and creating advantages. So then you end up helping. And again, when you have multiple people making them, it makes it harder to rotate. It makes it harder for kids to feel good about rotating. And so credit to them. Obviously, Esme hit a couple of those as well. She played fantastic today. But again, as they're hitting them as a team, it makes them harder to guard because there's just fewer places that your kids feel comfortable rotating from. It's hard to trust it when everyone's making shots.
You know they're going to bring a lot of pressure. You pressed them a little bit too, especially down the stretch of the first half. What'd you like about that element?
I like it because it helps our team play harder. It helps our team develop a sense of urgency. And it wasn't, I mean, it was only okay, but it was one of those things where when you look like you're stuck in a malaise, maybe that press can be kind of a shock to your system, a jolt to just bump up that sense of urgency.
Did you see them do anything differently in this game compared to the last one early on, first quarter, that helped them get up that big lead early?
Not especially, honestly. Like I said, I thought that they rolled a little bit more in their pick and roll, but I don't think that was. I think that was personnel. Once Mara got hurt, they started rolling a ton more. But that's kind of what those kids that come off the bench do. They pop less than she does in their pick and roll action, in their get action, and all that kind of stuff. So they rolled more, which would probably be one schematic thing that was a little bit different. As the game went on, they tried to keep us out of the middle more, but I don't know that wasn't necessarily early. Like I said, they were maybe a little bit more active off ball than they have been in games past. I mean, those are some small things, but I don't think that they did anything drastically different. No.
How did you feel about the physicality in this game and the difference in free throws?
I try to live by the Joe Mazzulla quote, like, did you die? Like, there's no foul. Like, you just have to play. Like, that'll never be anything I think about, anything I want our kids to think about. I think it needs to be something we think about less as a group. Like, officials are human. Officials are trying their best. Whether you think you got fouled or didn't, like, has zero bearing on the game. In the moment you give control of the game to three people who aren't playing a minute, you're going to be behind the eight ball a little bit. And so it was a physical game. I want it to be a physical game. This game should be a physical game every single time because of how much it matters.
Anything else?
Oh, yeah. Coach, your message to the team right now, getting ready for March coming up here in a couple of weeks. What's your message to them after the loss like this?
That short of Montana State, who had this conversation with Tricia before the game, like, they should be their season shouldn't come down to 1 week in March the way they're playing right now. Their season shouldn't. I'll put that on record right now. Their resume, they should not be playing for 1 week in March. But for the rest of us, we need to play good for a week in March in Boise. We need to come together. And there's a lot of teams that are going to cut bait on the season, and we refuse to let our group be one of them. And so our message is, we're going to come on Monday, we're going to go to work, and we're gonna get after it. But like I said, I want to be clear that I don't think Montana State's a team that should be playing for 1 week in March.
Thank you, Nick.